Because this would be nice for beginning quotes.
It might be. I don't know. I think we're live again. I don't know. We might be back. I'm not sure. Who knows?
It says off air in my top right-hand corner, so.
You know, that it'll say that forever because I'm not broadcasting through the Google Hangouts thing.
It's coming back up. I'm seeing it.
We're back. Back to the Born in the 80s, episode 254 now, I guess.
253. Matt, issue with the TJ just fucking exploded into robot noises.
Just fucking roboted out.
Yeah. No, we're back, I guess. Are we back on Twitch?
Yeah, we're back on Twitch. We've
got Brett listening
we're at the
on
top
Twitch.
of our game.
But we're not going to be on YouTube, so how's that going to work?
We're back on YouTube too.
It says off air.
Hey, look, it'll catch up. Just refresh the page. Just refresh the
I can't refresh the page.
Fudge.
Just make sure you switch yourself over to Studio, man.
I am on Studio.
I'm just saying. Don't forget.
Yeah, no, it'll say off air on the Hangout because we're not broadcasting from the Hangout. We're broadcasting from XSplit. It's
so
that's the whole
XSplit.
situation.
I understand what you're saying. So what you're saying is
XSplit.
that there are going to be 2 videos on YouTube then of the podcast?
Yes, and you'll have to do the horrifying work of splicing 2 separate audio files together. Can you handle that?
No.
Oh my God.
Matt, you should start editing the podcast now. That's a new job I have for you.
No! I have so much shit to do. I have so many
not
podcasts that I'm not even on that I have to edit.
What? You edit other people's podcasts?
Yeah.
Which ones?
I get Rob's show, 10 minutes about your favorite movie. And then the Are We Delicious radio drama podcast. I have to edit those because they pay me money to do that.
I see. And you can't even edit this podcast, and you're being paid to edit others.
Pay me some fucking money, god damn it.
You're
Give me
on
that
this
sweet
show.
Patreon cash.
You're on this show.
This show's still a money sink, so
That's right. We're getting help from some of our beautiful listeners, but we're not at full subsistence. Would it be?
thank you, listeners. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to visit our Patreon, patreon.com/Born in the 80s.
I don't know if that's it, but it could be it. If you
is.
search
It
Born
is.
in the 80s on Patreon, you'll find us, though, because we're not listed as an explicit project anymore.
And
because
when
I thought
we
that
get
was
to 10 million subscribers, we're going to delete our channel.
I'm going to start posting a lot of Nazi jokes and memes. Start
Do we
talking
want to talk
death
about that
to the
at all?
Jews. I think we should talk about that because I went on the most absolutely insane rant online about this at a place
Really?
that I talked to people at.
I'm on about 7 minds about this, but I want to hear your thoughts first.
I am on 7 minds about this. It's like, A, I'm not a huge fan of PewDiePie, to begin with. B, yeah, his humor is immature and childish and dumb. Yep, got it. He jokes about Nazis and stuff and pays people on Fiverr.com on how to post up a sign that says "Death to all Jews." All right, cool. And oh man, it's crazy what you can get people to do over the internet for $5. Also, here's some weird, slightly anti-Semitic thing. I don't think the guy is in any way racist. I don't think the guy is
I
in
100%
any
agree with
way
that.
anti-Semitic. I think the guy just likes to make edgy jokes that are immature and kind of tasteless. I think he's just, I don't know, whatever. It's just, dude, he's got 50 million 12-year-olds he's making jokes to.
Yeah.
So whatever. I understand.
If you saw his response video, it was actually very well thought out and logical. He was like, "Yeah, I fucked up. It's correct that Disney and YouTube dropped me because I fucked up."
Yep.
But
Yep.
these Wall Street Journal reporters cherry picked a bunch of shit to try and like exact their own little vendetta against him. So this is the like breadcrumbs that I followed in the story. The first thing I saw was the like social media outrage, and I was like, "Oh, of course, it's fucking PewDiePie." Blah, 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 blah. These kids, they don't know that the Holocaust was a real thing, and blah, blah, blah. And then I heard a bunch of reactions of that stuff, and then I saw his video, and it was very much like there were no heroes and there were just a whole lot of villains in the story. Like I really got the feeling that like he was saying that these Wall Street Journal reporters were threatened by him. I don't believe that. I think they just saw an easy target for a lot of controversy to get an article that would get a lot of clicks. And I think he was just kind of a sacrificial lamb for the clicks.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Disney and YouTube Red, their hands were kind of forced. They had to drop him after that.
Oh yeah, totally.
Because the paper was like, hey, the PewDiePie's anti-Semitic. What do you think about that? And if they didn't drop him, they would have been like, Disney supports anti-Semitic views. So it was just kind of a no-win situation. But while I support the fact that YouTube and Disney dropped him and stuff like that, I don't hate him as a person or demonize him.
No, of course not. I mean, he makes jokes that are distasteful and whatever.
They're dumb.
It's dumb.
And the fact that I was watching that apology video, and I was for the first half or so, I was on edge. Like, is he gonna try and defer blame and like be like, no, this is other people's fault? But he took full responsibility for it. He was like, yeah, I fucked up. I lost these sponsored.
Did you watch the video that he put up though?
Yes.
Did you watch the one that he put up and took down? Because that's different in tone quite a bit.
Really?
I've heard of that one, but I've not seen that one.
It's archived. You can go find it. I could throw that up on the chat.
That might change my opinion.
Well, he goes the Trump card, basically.
The media.
And it's like it's the media's fault. And it's pretty bad, actually. So that's not good.
Disheartening.
But he did. Well, you know what though.
How much of,
as it may be. He did take it down and put up a different video. So maybe he was like, on second thought, that's probably a bad way to talk about this. Let's change my stance.
Hey, hello.
how much
welcome
of his first
video
was really just
this one is an ongoing
defense
story that
because it was right after it happened? Honestly,
I've never talked about this.
It was probably fired up.
Quite as a shock. It's called.
Just like anyone would be if
It's stupid.
If their livelihood, or at least some of their livelihood, was taken away from them.
Parenthesis.
And again, I'm not
all
supporting
just
the tasteless jokes, but I do understand that at least in the big supercut video where someone actually cut together all the stuff that the Wall Street Journal was talking about
from the interwebs. That's where I
it
find
paints
my
a really bad
information
picture
on what's going on
by taking out
That's
context.
how I find out.
Yeah, exactly.
What
when you edit out context of the joke, or remove the comedic timing or the silence, stuff can look real bad.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, there's there's a difference between a tasteless joke, which I think those were, and legitimately anti-Semitic views, which
I think the big,
which we're seeing from actual people in the White House advisory panels. So I think we should maybe not overreact to jokes gone wrong.
I think I agree. The overreaction just fuels the flames.
Yeah,
the big joke with the
fuels the people that are like,
yeah, go ahead.
Social justice warriors will get offended by anything, so we can't take anything they say seriously. Like, yeah, we just.
But I think it really all started with the joke, the thing with the sign.
Yeah.
And then everything else was just cherry picked to try and support the argument.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know, like, one of the things that was mentioned was he had a video called "Please Stop Doing This," which talked about people who are playing his game, his PewDiePie YouTube simulator, and just making swastikas. And it's just him kind of calling people out, "Stop doing this crap." But yet, what do you get pulled in the supercut? You see his game with swastikas in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was encouraged or whatnot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the joke was how ridiculous it was. Like,
yep.
It's just kind of like one of those things that's like, hey, let's make an article that's crazy because this guy has some pretty edgy humor.
And because he's got like a couple million followers, subscribers on YouTube, so
okay, I want to talk about
get a rise
that for a
out
second.
of all of his subscribers.
Yeah, I want to talk about that for a second. So people were talking about this on a website that I go to and forums I'm on, and basically people's argument was, man, he shouldn't do that. He has millions of kids that watch him. Like that, he needs to be responsible because of what his audience is. And my response to that was, no, the fuck he doesn't.
No,
he can make whatever dumb videos he wants on YouTube, and just because kids tune in because they like his humor, it's not his job to be like, oh, there's kids watching, I gotta censor myself. No. It's the parents that need to know what their kids are watching, and YouTube that needs to be like, okay, this is explicit, so we can't let kids watch this.
It's the Call of Duty effect. Call of Duty's not going to tone down what it does just to get its game rated T because over half of its players are under 18. Call of Duty's going to continue making games, and it's up to the parents to decide what they're going to parse, what they're going to allow their kids to see.
Well, and it's kind of like, I think it's the exact same thing that Charles Barkley said in that Nike commercial. He's like, just because I can slam dunk a basketball doesn't mean I'm a role model. Like, I don't have to be a role model. Like, because, he wants to say whatever he wants in the media. Not everyone has to be a role model. And that was kind of like the big argument I got into. Everyone was like, man, everyone should just, like, chill out and, like, not do jokes and stuff, and like I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, you're talking about maybe North
just
Korea.
Don't take celebrities like they're fucking gods among men. Like,
I know, and I was like saying, like, role model is such a subjective term. Like, role model for you might be President Obama or Michelle Obama or something, or that. But some other family in the U.S., their role model might be Jesus or Jerry Falwell or something, and they're gonna think, oh man, you're crazy, you like that Muslim like guy, it's really subjective, so you can't really put a blanket statement.
Michelle Obama's arms.
Oh, my role model is Michelle Obama. She's glorious. And
I want her to run. I want her to become president and save us from this nightmare. My
role model is a ciabatta roll.
So, and I was just like, and I hate to say, thank you, TJ. I would like to say that it's just like, I mean, the YouTube like shock humor is kind of a big thing now. Like, it's kind of like a big thing. Like, Ethan from H3H3 kind of dips his toes in it a little bit.
Yeah. I do feel a little bit dirty when I watch his videos. Like,
well, don't watch iDubbbz TV because every word is used without question. I love iDubbbz though, like his show, because I like his style of humor. Don't like that he uses slurs. Guy? Yes.
Oh, okay, because I did see that. Yeah, I saw his most recent Content Cop. And I was like, man, like, I agree with a lot of the things you're saying, but you're making it really hard to agree with you because you're such a dick.
Yeah, well, you should watch all of his stuff. He's a dick, but he's very I don't know how to say this. Like he makes fun of himself quite a bit. Like he's totally not, you know what I mean? He's not like he's on some high horse. Like when he's talking about the joke, and if you don't know what we're talking about, it was the dust up he had with Tana Mongeau, who's another YouTube streamer, where, you know, she said he should die for saying the N-word on his show all the time, which he does as part of the joke and to desensitize the shock value, and it's kind of a thing, and he explains it in his explanation video where he goes over it, and in which he uncovered a bunch of old Snapchats and other chats of her just using the N-word casually to talk about people.
Yeah, so,
and it was
like I'm watching that,
he's like, yeah.
Like when he's uncovering the videos of her, then I'm on board. But when he's saying that, like, oh, we should just say it so that it doesn't have any power, then that's kind of
I can't get on that
words
train.
Actually have. Yeah, so I'm like, I agree with like maybe 40% of what you're saying, but the other 60% is making me feel super dirty for watching this.
I think it's interesting too because it makes me think about just like words and the power that they have in general. Because when we think about it, the N-word, which he uses all the time as a joke, not like calling anyone out. I mean, it's literally, he calls himself that all the time. But it's like literally, he's like, why can I not use that word? Like, and I can say gay, call someone gay, you know, like that. Why is one slur worse than another? Like it's either all or nothing to him.
Well,
which I totally agree with, though. I mean, if you're going to do it,
I disagree with that though, because it's like you're evoking
but I mean, what you're
history.
saying is that he can say, a slur against gays. Well, maybe you're offended by all of it, okay? But there are people that would be like, "Oh, that's fine." Oh, but when you say the N-word, man, that's bad. And it's like, okay, so black people are it's more offensive than it is for a Jewish person, you know, to get, you know, called a name.
I don't know. I just think that
it's just everything's offensive.
There's
to someone.
That is true, but also like there are terms that carry a certain amount of historical weight that
in the society that we're in and the time that we're in right now.
Yes, and so it's I think that the people that are saying, well, they're just words, they'll just say them, they're not taking into account the sort of gravity that it holds when people hear those words.
Yeah, totally.
So they're not taking the full account of what they're doing to other people into account. And I think with words like the N-word, it's more like you have to realize that you're evoking this entire history when you say that word.
Well, like I could call you like a filthy Mick. You know what I mean? Like make fun of the fact that
I'm not a dirty fucking Irishman.
I know, but like, you know what I mean? Like 150 years ago in America, like that would have been pretty bad because like there were a lot of
as John Oliver says, the America is a group of immigrants that hate their more recent immigrants.
Exactly. No, totally.
Yep.
And so it's just the flavor of the month now, and then and it's just kind of like, so right now in, you know, the world that we live in, the N-word has a lot more power than a lot of other slurs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I totally get what he's saying. Like it's the same thing as South Park says. Everyone should be an equal opportunity offender. You can't say, but
that's
you have to do it with some tact.
That's coming from a position of privilege because like we're white dudes, so we can say, oh yeah, everybody starts on an even playing field. But not everybody is born into an even playing field, in this world. Like, I think it's kind of shitty to say like, oh well, let's just start a reset. Everybody reset, undo. We'll just like everybody's equal now because we fucked a lot of shit up in the past, and we can't undo it.
I totally agree with you. I would never do that. I personally, that's the thing I hate most about his show. Actually, I wish I could cut all of that out because I like the parts where he gets fan mail from fans that's like a bunch of rocks in a bag that he pours out. Like, it's just really funny stuff he does. This bad unboxing videos where he gets like a loot crate and then like rips apart all the stuff and then throws it in the box and throws a firecracker in it and explodes it. I mean, like, it's just, I like a lot of his stuff, but the language stuff, it really is just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if
it's just like, it's just a symptom of like being a fish in water that doesn't recognize you're in water.
Yeah.
When
well,
you're
the thing I appreciate about Ian Idubbbs is that he totally is fully aware. Though he's like, he's like, I'm making shitty, stupid jokes here. Like this isn't. He's not trying to like make a stand. You know what I mean? Like he's just like, I just do this dumb shit. And he likes to point out the hypocrisy of like, are you going to call me racist for saying these words on my comedy show when you are just throwing that out online? And your response was, I didn't know that was a bad word. Like, oh, really? Are you really? Like, okay.
Somebody on Reddit was like, the comments to the PewDiePie apology video, they were like, content cop, Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, so anyway, we had this argument on my website that I go to, and it's just like, people were just like, you gotta self-censor, you gotta like be protective, you gotta like that, and like, free speech is great, but you gotta think before you open your mouth. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's so wrong though. Like when you think about like Monty Python, they talk about how the reason why their show was so good was because the BBC basically gave them a free pass to do whatever they wanted. Like and it may suck now, and this edgy humor will probably go away because it's not that funny. Yeah. But I mean, the freedom for people to be able to make whatever they want is fine. And YouTube doesn't have to, freedom of speech doesn't protect you from getting dropped by Disney. Like if they don't want to host it, they don't have to, but you can't tell people to not do what they want to do.
Well, yeah, they got crammed into a position where if they didn't drop him, they would.
No, they have to.
It would have been seen as support for anti-Semitic views, and that would have hurt the bottom line. And like, I feel like the people that are railing against this, like, PewDiePie does edgy humor and they can't handle it, like, they're not seeing the bigger picture of like, if Disney implicitly endorsed this speech, then they would have lost a lot of other sponsors. Like there's a bigger fucking picture, so try to see outside of PewDiePie. Well, like the thing I just like is when people are like, he's got kids watching him, he's got to watch his mouth. I'm like, no. Sorry. I mean, interesting.
No, but here's the thing. It's not. It's so you can't say that because like, what are you going to tell NWA, Eazy-E? Oh no, you can't rap about living in Compton. That's going to make people be gangbangers and stuff. And it's like, no, it's his life. He can talk about whatever he wants to. Like that's the same shit. Like let's censor music. It's no, a hard line on that. Like you have no responsibility over your audience. Like not unless you're like literally. Like the Nazi band. Like you're one of those bands that plays at like all the Nazi shows and talks about that. But like,
is that
then
that's a thing?
But then you're a crazy Nazi. People know what they're getting into with you.
No, John, I have to correct you. They prefer to be called alt-right.
Yeah, it's true. Alt-right, more like the alt-Reich. Am I right?
Alt-Reich.
Matt, can I get a rap beat from you? Do you have a rap beat?
What kind of rap beat?
I don't know, any rap beat. So, because I was bored, I changed the lyrics of Boys in the Hood to a song I like to call Friends in the Neighborhood. Okay, you're going to do that? Cruising down the street in my parents' hatchback, avoiding the drugs, staying in school, and keeping on track. Went to the park to hear the news. My friends were out there giving the poor their shoes. A car pulls up. Who can it be? A fresh El Camino. My friend, Kilo G. He rolls down his window and started to say, it's all about making money in a responsible way. Because my friends in the community are always nice. You come saying mean things. Okay, Matt. I'm not swearing in this particularly. Well, that's cold as ice. Knowing nothing in life but to be legitimate. Don't quote me, chum, because I did not say it. Donald B's in the place to talk to me. He said my man JD is living drug-free. The boy JD was a friend of mine, till I caught him in my car time. Chased him up the street just to have a chat. The silly guy pulls a rabbit out of the hat. Little did he know, I was a fan of magic. Now we're best friends. LA Times reporting, nothing tragic. Finished my homework. Educated, I'm staying. So I went to the community center where my friends were playing. Those guys were out there playing a game of catch. I pulled up in my parents' hot hatch. They greet me with a refreshing Coca-Cola, and I started drinking. And from the garlic breath my mom made, my breath started stinking. Left to get my girlfriend to head to the ice cream social. I must be responsible because I know she will. Went to her house to pick her up for the night. She said something that made me feel all right. She said something that I couldn't believe. So I hugged her and kissed her until we had to leave. She started talking about love, wouldn't you know? Reached back in my car. Found her some jewelry that glowed. Her father jumped up and called me a fine young guy. So I hugged him too, and I think he started to cry. Now I'm driving around, very much under control. Then I accidentally wrapped my car around a telephone pole. Looked at my car and said, "Oh, what in tarnation? Better call the police and give them my insurance information." Walking down home, I see my friend driving by. Now Kat is driving my friend Kilo G, who's quite shy. As they performed an illegal U-turn, they got pulled over. There was an undercover cop in that dark green Nova. Now Kat gave the officer only positive chatter, and nothing happened because blue lives matter. Now G said he is sorry and is given a warning. He'll be much more careful when driving next morning. Because my friends in the community are always nice. You come saying mean things? Well, that's cold as ice. Knowing nothing in life but to be legitimate. Don't quote me, chum, because I didn't say it. I went to school the very next day. My friends and I have a 4.0 GPA. 2 days later, in the schoolyard, my friend told me he's going to Harvard. Top of the class, said our principal. You'll make life for yourself starting next fall. Both my parents lied. They've never been prouder. When they found out, I was magna cum laude. I received scholarship to my first choice, Yale, because I studied so hard without fail. Maybe I could have gone to parties and acted more cool, but I'm happy I studied hard and stayed in school. Now that's a positive message I think that we should be rapping to our kids. You know, not some dirty song like Boys in the Hood. I don't know. It just bothers me. People are like, you know, like, oh, let's put censorship on music and stuff. And it's like, because kids listen to Eminem. And it's like, well, you're not going to stop them from listening to it. You might as well be like, hey, that's not good stuff he's saying. Have a talk with your kids.
That was pretty fucking tight, right?
I know, right? It was. You could have just found a rap beat probably on YouTube, but it's fine, Matt. I'm getting into my 1950s like Americana rapping career. So I'm just going to talk about how to stay in school. I don't know. It's just like
stay in school.
Well, I had a friend I was talking to. I showed him that, and he's like, "Is that a Will Smith song?" I was like, "Kind of, actually, when you think about it." He was the answer to NWA, but like, I don't know. It just bothers me when people are like, we should self-censor ourselves. I'm not saying you should go out there and do edgy humor where you drop N-bombs and whatnot, because that's bad too. But also, you shouldn't say that person shouldn't do it because kids could be watching. I mean, kids could be watching anything, man. YouTube's a fucking wild west.
It's a cesspool of Elsas and Spider-Mans and
oh my god.
Jokers.
And those are bad because they're like really weirdly sexual too. Ugh. Anyway.
Very disturbing.
Yeah. Oh, does anyone else, what do we want to talk about next? How much time do we have? What are we doing?
I feel like this has been going on forever.
I can't tell how long the show is now because I'm not running it, so.
Well, we're probably about an hour and a half in. I mean,
Okay.
maybe an hour 15 with that break in the middle that we had.
Yeah, that's true. TJ, I want to hear your stuff.
Okay, cool. we'll start with what I actually got around to watching recently.
Yes.
And I want to talk about how I watched it as much as I want to talk about what I liked about it.
Okay.
So my kids just finished rewatching Avatar: The Last Airbender, the entire series.
That show is so good.
It is amazing.
And
it's
Lauren
really
will not watch it because she hates anime.
That bitch.
Technically, it's not anime. It kind of is. It kind of isn't.
It's very anime inspired.
It's
Yes.
American anime.
Yeah. It's Afghanistan animation.
Yes. What was the name of that show?
Which
Donkey something?
A
monkey.
Oh.
Banana monkey. Oh no, what? A rude monkey?
Yeah. Fucking.
Oh.
Damn it.
Johnny Bananas?
Johnny Chippo.
Johnny Chimpo.
Johnny Chimpo, yeah.
Thank you. Rude Monkey is my I like the,
Rude Monkey.
like Soviet Union version.
When is Super Troopers 2 coming out? That's coming up pretty
Never.
soon, I think.
Eventually, sometime, whatever. Anyway, so
Avatar: Legend of Korra.
we checked out all 4 seasons of Legend of Korra from the library.
More like Legend
Oh.
of Korra.
Yeah. But yeah, seasons are a little shorter, but there's more seasons than Last Airbender. It ends up being just a little bit less episodes.
Mhm.
So I originally only watched like the first 5 episodes of Legend of Korra, but I'm like, I'm gonna start from the beginning. I'm gonna kind of get back into it. And on Monday night, I watched all 12 episodes of the first season. I stayed up till 3:30 in the morning.
I was like, when I saw that show, I watched it all. I watched it with Adam, actually.
Yeah.
I would say that I thought nothing could be better than Avatar, and I liked Korra more.
There are parts I like better about Korra. There are parts I like better about Last Airbender. Korra, I like the fact that it's, more grown up thematically.
Mm-hmm. I love the setting too. The world.
It's dealing with, older teens. I like the setting. I like the whole steampunk / industrial revolution feel. Watching the first season kind of reminds me of where we are politically right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the same thing. It's just, if you get into a world of fear, everything changes, and you're just following blindly behind whoever happens to be ahead of you. And then yesterday, between the morning and the evening, I watched all 14 episodes of season 2, which is really good as well, just in a different way.
Yeah.
Definitely more. The second season's all about spirits, so it's much more. The themes they're kind of bringing up to you are more philosophical than anything else. Than it is about just straight up. Here's the action, and let's watch the hero find a way to get stronger to beat the big bad.
Yeah.
I kind of know where we're at right now, getting into season 3, especially now that Avatar's Avatar again. She's got all 4 elements, but she lost all connection to previous Avatars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I haven't watched the rest of it, and I really don't want to get that spoil on that.
Mm-hmm.
But does that mean cycle starts with her now, or does that mean when she dies, it dies with her? I mean, that spirit that's in her, the Rava or whatever that light spirit is, still exists, I guess. So whatever, but I don't know. That's just where my mind is on that.
Actually, so I want to talk about season 2.
Yep.
The beginnings, 2-part episodes.
Yes.
Probably some of my favorite television of the last 10 years. I
love their change in art style for that.
I loved
so
it.
Good.
They changed the art style. It was just. It felt like an old history, being told. You know what I mean? That was just this is the lore of the world. I love the depth of the lore in the world. For these. Season 3 is. I'm trying to think what happens in season 3. Change. That one's good.
According to what I read off the back, this is where they find that there's other airbenders besides just Aang's legacy.
Yes, it's more than that though. It's kind of a, I don't know, a group trying to overthrow the government, basically.
Yeah, I've seen like 10 minutes of one episode in the middle, so I really want to, I'm excited to kind of get back, back into that. And the problem is, I also know kind of the ending of the whole series.
Season 4 is so good.
Yep, that's what I've heard, but I only know the end of this. I don't know anything that leads up to that.
It's just so good because it like, the ending is just so good, and the final scene is so good, and I'm sure you've heard about that.
Yep, that I heard about, definitely.
But it's just so good. Like, it's like really interesting for a show on Nickelodeon just to be so insightful.
Did you know that there actually is stuff that takes place between Last Airbender and Legend of Korra that they've actually, it's media you're able to read at this point?
Correct. They've done a bunch of comics, actually, and they have some following Korra as well as like a continuation. So.
Oh, do they? That's cool.
Yes, they actually just started coming out, I think.
Because I think they just started the third series of between the two series. Because they had the first one, which was called The Promise.
Wait, are those comics or is that a TV show that I need to watch?
Comics.
All right.
Which something YouTube, so you can read it on YouTube. They exist. First one's called the Promise, which is all based off of Zuko tells Aang, hey, I need you to promise me if I, for some reason, go crazy or go evil, you will kill me. Kill me. You need to take me out and defeat me. And that promise gets tested almost immediately because what becomes Republic City in the Korra series, or what becomes that city, is the Fire Nation colonies, which is on the northwest corner of the Earth Kingdom. There are Fire Nation citizens living there. There are Earth Kingdom citizens living there, and neither wants to leave. I mean, that area technically should belong to the Earth Kingdom, and the Earth King, who was normally passive all through Last Airbender, is like, I'm not going to be bullied anymore.
Yeah.
And he brings a full freaking army.
Yeah. I've heard of that story. It's actually really interesting because the way that they kind of build the cultures there, like the Earth Nation is supposed to be very much like mainland China, and the Fire Nation's more Japan, like the Island Nation that is very like industrialistic and that, and they butt heads, and I don't know, it's just really kind of cool how the whole world is set up in that. I love how deep the lore is. Like, it really feels like a real well realized world, and it's oh man, it makes me want to watch the whole series over again.
The Water Tribes feel very Inuit to me.
Yep, that's the idea. They have North and South.
Yep.
Inuit, and then the Airbenders, of course, are like the Tibetan monks.
Yep, exactly. Dressed just like them too. The second series is The Search, which Azula, who's in captivity, supposedly knows the location of Zuko's mother. Now, from Last Airbender, it almost sounds like Ozai, the Fire Lord that gets taken out at the end, is not just had her banished, but probably had her killed. It was very implied. But apparently she's not dead. So there's all of that. And then I forget what the third series is called because I just saw the first book at my kid's book fair over at the school today.
Okay.
But yeah, they're continuing to make more media related to this, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
I just wish the movie wasn't garbage. The live action movie.
Oh yeah. It basically was like, remember the themes and the content of this show being like a really good mix of both action and humor and drama. Let's just cut all that out and make it super grim. Like, and it was like, ugh.
I think the problem over anything else, over casting, over the idea of the bad guys are the Middle Eastern people. Over all of that is the fact that they're trying to compress 440 minutes of content.
Oh, I know, right?
Into an 84-minute movie.
Yeah, it was like,
because that thing is short as shit because it's Nickelodeon. It's still Nickelodeon films. And I think one of the biggest parts I liked about Last Airbender was Sokka.
Yeah.
That humor was needed to kind of distill some of that, or to prevent the drama from just being distilled. Because the drama is not why you continue. It's the humor and the camaraderie. It's all of that.
Yep. Yeah.
Do you want me to hit what I played, or do you want to hit something else first?
Matt, wake up.
Sorry, I'm talking to bots on Tinder.
Why?
Because hope springs eternal, John.
Hope springs eternal. Well, what did you have on your thing? Did we talk about all your stuff? Oh, we did.
Yep.
All right, Matt. I want to talk about one last thing, I think, right? Where are we at on time, Matt?
I have no idea where to check that.
I think we're okay. We've got time for maybe about.
Well, usually you can check
10 to
on
15 more
YouTube
minutes.
because it'll have like the minutes on it. But yeah, I think we'll do this. So okay. So I want to talk about the V sign, right?
Yeah, we're at about 2 hours at this point.
All right, this is the last thing. Then this is easy. This is quick.
We're not really at 2 hours, but it's fine.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
since we
did
started
not-
the YouTube stream, but we
We
took like a
started
half
25
hour
minutes
forward.
late.
Yeah, we started about 9:30.
We had the 10-minute gap.
Yeah, we're good though. Let's stop talking about podcast stuff. So I have to.
My
cut that
thigh
out.
gap is 10 minutes.
Well, that's a big gap. I want to talk about the V sign. You know what I'm talking about when I say the V sign? The like peace, right?
Yeah, 2 fingers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if it's backwards, it's British for fuck you.
This is exactly what I wanted to talk about. All right, so American Sign Language is number 2. In the U.S., can mean many things, like peace. In the 60s, that was kind of a thing.
Yep.
Victory, the victory signs, like V for victory. That's Richard Nixon, of course, V for victory. Air quotes, of course, flexing the fingers. So it's got a lot of cool things, but it has some really wide-ranging things. In Japan, it's kind of like they kind of took the peace symbol as like a greeting, like hey, it's a greeting.
Sorry.
So as an insult,
Hey, I'm in pictures. Hey.
What?
what are you talking about?
I was being a Japanese person posing for a picture.
Oh,
of the peace sign.
yes. No, that's like the Japanese I'm taking a photo picture thing.
Kawaii desu.
Yeah, exactly. So, no, but okay. So this is really cool. As an insult in Japan, or in the UK, it's called the 2-fingered salute. And you do it backwards. The forks, it's like, hey, that.
Yes.
So I wanted to figure out why is it like that? And it's the opposite everywhere else. And so I looked into it. Like this, we're talking about like in 2009, there were 2 Scottish football players who did the V sign while sitting on the bench during the game at the other team, and they were both banned from the team. Like that's how bad the
Really?
symbol is. Like it is like the middle finger.
Yeah, it's just like flicking them off. Like,
All right. So the
British version of
origins.
flipping the bird.
There's a legend to this, and it's pretty badass because Britain has an excellent and awesome history because it's been around for so long that I can say back in 1415, this legend begins. Longbowmen fighting in the English and Welsh like squadrons at the Battle of Agincourt during the 100 Years' War is where this comes from. And this origin dictates that the English and Welsh archers who were captured by the French had their index and middle fingers cut off so they could no longer operate their longbows. Because obviously if you're operating a bow, you need your 2 big fingers to pull the drawstring back. And so the V sign was used by the uncaptured and victorious archers as a display of defiance against the enemy. Like, here's my 2 fingers. You can't cut these off because I just killed everybody because we're badass longbowmen. So that was it, really. Now, they're saying most likely this probably isn't true, but that's where it goes back to. So maybe this was a legend made up just because that's how legends happen. I would like to think that's real.
Isn't that the same legend about just the middle finger in general? Because I've heard the same thing related to just flipping people off.
Very possible. Because they cite that basically common practice in warfare that time was if you caught a bunch of longbowmen, you would just execute them. Why would you just cut their fingers off? That takes more time than just cutting them all up. Like, What? Like, yeah. I don't know, maybe, but they did stuff like that to demoralize people, like sending back without their fingers. Like, haha, there's your longbowmen. Because the British longbowmen were legendary, and how skilled they were. So, yeah. Anyway, so nobody really knows. Wait, here we go. The first unambiguous evidence of the V sign in the UK dates to 1901, when a worker was captured using the gesture in a picture to indicate that he did not like having a picture being taken of him. So that's 1901 is the oldest they saw it. So,
I mean, that particular so on this Wikipedia article, I've got that one picture on the side. But that particular way you've got your arm when you do the palm facing U V sign almost looks like you're shoving both fingers up someone's butt and spreading it. That's
what I thought it was too, but that doesn't seem to be where the origin comes from.
Yeah.
According to this, so.
I bite my thumb at you.
Yeah.
There's that, yeah.
Oh, wait. Are you talking about the cock-a-snook?
Cock-a-snook.
It's a British thing, which is to perform a snook.
Thumbing of the nose.
Which is I thumb my nose at you.
Yeah, that's the brush of the thumb against the nose, right?
Yeah, that's cocking a snook, because British language is ridiculous. Anyway, that's it. I think we're good, unless anyone else has anything about dirty hand gestures. Matt, do you have any dirty hand gestures you can do on camera?
Oh, so many. I'm doing them all right now. You can't tell on the podcast though.
You can pretend my picture's doing it. My still picture of myself.
Oh god, it's all just so lewd, so lewd.
I'm gonna give my 5-second opinion of the For Honor beta, even though For Honor's now officially out.
Okay, fair enough.
I really like it. I really do. I'm not very good, but I really enjoy the crap out of the game. Hashtag Vikings are the best. Go Vikings.
Go Vikings. Yeah, For Honor, I did not have high hopes for that, because it kind of looked like it was going to be like meh, but people are really liking it. Like, apparently the melee combat is just amazing.
The best way I could describe it is if you take the overall feeling of Overwatch with the champions, and then just putting the game mechanics of Dark Souls into it, make it a multiplayer, that's For Honor.
Cool. So check that out, everyone. Matt, what's the website we can be visited at?
Partyplatypus.net.
I don't think that even works.
Born in the 80s.
Partyplatypus.com.
.net.
Born in the 80s.pizza.
Born in the 80s.net works. You can check out our Luigi fan art gallery from the latest episode, where a listener commented that they thought the Russian anthem is badass. So
it is. It's
that
quite
recently?
badass.
Yeah.
Also, probably our future.
Have we checked our email in a while?
Oh, I'm checking it right now. Nope.
Any good spam?
Bikecast@gmail.com, of course, if you want to send an email there. But that's it. I don't know. What's your everyone's Twitter handles? Give John_Danger.
Matt.
May 84 or just underscore. What? May 84. Yeah.
May 84. Matt, are you all right? How's life?
It's all right.
You seem down and out. What's up?
Do I?
I don't know. You're very low energy right now.
I'm pretty drunk right now.
See, that's the problem. You need Matt. I'm gonna prescribe for you something when we do our podcast. When you drink some Red Bull too. Get yourself some of that caffeinated drunk anger. I'd like to see that. I just want you to get wild on here. Go crazy.
Gone wild. I do think that the current administration is, to me, like a sort of Lewis Black origin story.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how much longer they're around, huh? Anyway, what's the channel? You said Byte Productions or Born in the 80s Productions?
I think it's Byte Industries.
Byte Industries.
We don't have we gotta get some subscribers before we get a custom URL though.
Yeah, the problem with YouTube is that when I search Byte Industries, it just shows about 20,000 videos that have nothing to do with us. So
yeah,
I wish there was. I can filter it by
Correct.
the name of the thing, by channel name. But and even then, it's not showing up because, of course, I hate YouTube search. It's so fucking random. You're like, I want to watch this music video, and you get like 10 weird, not uploaded by the artist, like fucking videos that are like, it's ripping them off.
Watch some pregnant Elsa Spider-Man Joker videos.
Matt, you need to make all of those the thumbnails though, because it's really just the thumbnails I think to get people in. That's it. Matt, are we done?
I think so.
Has the episode ended?
I don't know. I haven't stopped the broadcast. Should I stop the broadcast?
Just make sure that you throw that up on YouTube if it's only on